The press for Blake did get bad.
Every character's playlist is reputation, just reputation.
If somebody is seriously sexually harassed, you don't make fun of it. It's a serious issue.
Okay. Oh, God.
This movie really took over our life for the past year and a half.
I don't remember seeing this on the schedule.
Dive in, shall we?
She was like a walking, talking contradiction.
I've been on a meth journey for about 6 months now.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, but you're probably gonna die.
Rings also are like my comfort blanket.
I'd be fighting alongside them, but my calling is to one day host a podcast that monetizes the women's movement.
Uzi time, baby.
What did you think when you saw, Ryan, make light of the situation? I guess try to find some humor in all this.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
Why? What have you heard?
Things really aren't slowing down with the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively situation. The other night, Saturday Night Live had its 50th anniversary special, and a ton of celebrities showed up, including Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Now, before I get into that, let's catch up on everything else that has happened up until now. Now, the other day, I did put out a video on Brandon Sklenar being either Team Blake or Team Justin when he was doing an interview with Gayle King, and I'll link it right here, so go and check that out. But Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's attorneys did go to court, and Blake Lively's team claimed that they had brand new allegations against Justin Baldoni. The judge told them, hey, you have until Valentine's Day to get the updated lawsuit in. Now, Blake Lively's attorney said that they wanted to amend their lawsuit, and the judge gave them until, I believe, February 17th. Now, they did ask for an extension until March 5th, and the judge completely denied that extension. They gave them until February 17th to file their amended lawsuit, and I don't believe that happened. Instead, what happened was that Blake Lively filed a subpoena for Justin Baldoni's phone records. And this request for the phone records was absolutely insane. They wanted 2.5 years of phone records in order to expose the people, tactics, and methods that have worked to destroy and bury her reputation and family over the past year. Blake Lively's team claimed that there is so much evidence that proved that they wanted to destroy her reputation, and she wants Justin Baldoni's team to provide her with that evidence and give her 2.5 years of phone records.
When you ask for every document for 2.5 years, you as a lawyer should know that that's inappropriate.
And what's even more insane is that they weren't just asking for phone records. They were asking for every single call, text, data log, and even real-time location information for the past 2.5 years, regardless of sender, recipient, and subject matter. This is such an out-of-pocket request. This isn't a criminal trial here. And what I find really interesting is that these phone records are only to prove that they wanted to ruin Blake Lively's career, as opposed to the sexual harassment claims. I would think that the sexual harassment claims is what you want to prove. But no, they're focusing more on, we just wanted to ruin her reputation. Well, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Freeman, did speak out about this, and he's called it a fishing expedition. Justin Baldoni asked judge on Friday to prevent Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds from accessing years of his phone and text records, which he said could reveal location data and his web browser history. His lawyer argued that the subpoenas are flagrantly overbroad. It's hard to overstate how broad, invasive, and atypical these subpoenas truly are. This is civil litigation, not a criminal prosecution, and Lively and Reynolds are not the FBI. Now, Lively's attorneys did submit subpoenas to AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile in order to gain evidence to bolster their claim that Baldoni engaged in an unlawful smear campaign against her in retaliation for her sexual harassment complaint. Lively's spokesperson said, if they have so many receipts, why are they so afraid to produce them?
A lot of people could think that they're waiting for a response, and that our response would be to object to that, and they would then make a statement in the media saying, oh, look, they don't want the truth. We actually want all evidence to come out that's proper and appropriate evidence.
Well, they're not afraid to produce them. In fact, you can go to a website and see everything. You can see all of the evidence there. They're not afraid to produce any evidence. But what you are requesting are phone records from not just Justin Baldoni. It's Justin Baldoni and 4 other people. They want the phone records with all of that information. It's incredibly broad. They want Justin Baldoni's, Jamie Heath, Steven Sorowitz, and his 2 PR representatives. That's 5 people who would be losing their privacy. That's insane. Blake Lively started this. So you would think that she would have enough to prove all of these allegations that she was throwing at Justin Baldoni. And the fact that she needs to subpoena the phone records of 5 different people just so she could prove everything that she had already accused him of speaks volumes. That tells me that they just want anything at all, which to me means that they have nothing. She made false and empty allegations against this man in order to ruin his career. And now, in order to try and fix her and Ryan Reynolds' reputation, they're hoping to find something in these phone records. Well, Justin Baldoni is not rolling over. He's not taking this lying down. His team clapped back at Team Lively with a letter to Judge Lyman. In their letter, the Lively parties misrepresent the scope of their subpoenas. The subpoenas demand all documents concerning ingoing and ongoing calls or text messages related to phone number, and they blocked out the phone number, belonging to each of the individual Wayfair parties, some of their employees, and various non-party individuals, including but not limited to call logs, text logs, data logs, and their site location information. That's insane. If the Lively parties were seeking only call, text, and data logs, their subpoena would have asked for all call, text, and data logs for phone number, and they blocked out the phone number. But that is not what they actually asked for. The Lively parties cited 2 cases. One case was a criminal case that has absolutely no bearing whatsoever on the scope of permissible discovery in civil litigation. The subpoena is frankly obscene, and the plain language on their document request does not support the limited scope suggested by the Lively parties. We respectfully reiterate our request that the court quash the subpoenas as promptly as possible. So that's insane that they're asking for 2.5 years of all of that broad information. To me, that tells me that they have nothing. They really don't. They have nothing. And I think that what her lawyers are looking for is just someone talking shit about her. And obviously with all of the problems that she caused on set, someone is bound to say something bad about her, right? And I think that that's what they're looking for, and that's what they were going to use in court. Another thing that was released was the supposed HR complaint letters. It is alleged that one of the actresses on the set of It Ends With Us, Isabella Ferrer, was the actress that Blake Lively was referring to when she talked about another actress also felt uncomfortable on set. Now, Isabella Ferrer played young Lily Bloom, and this was her very first film. She's completely green in the eyes of Hollywood. And I believe in the eyes of Blake Lively, this is just somebody who is so green, so new to Hollywood, she wouldn't understand how things worked. So to Blake Lively, this is someone who can be easily manipulated. So what are these complaints that we have never seen before? Here's Ari Jacob over on Twitter. Go give her a follow. She's pretty awesome. The circulating screenshots claim that Sony received additional HR complaints against Baldoni from other actresses on set, possibly Jenny Slate or Isabella Ferrer. But people aren't really buying this. They think that this is something that was created and leaked by Blake Lively's team. In fact, it's leading people to ask more and more questions, just like Ari is asking here. Where were these complaints before? Are they even real? If they're real, why weren't they referenced in the CRD or Blake's lawsuit? If multiple people filed complaints before the lawsuit, wouldn't that have been major evidence in Blake's case? Why weren't these included to bolster her claims?
Do you have any information as to how this got out there? And is this slander? Is this something you're looking into?
I mean, I think we're looking into everything. You know, it's interesting. Let me ask you, what are the dates of these HR complaints? Do you know the dates?
There's no dates. The dates are redacted, except for on one of them, there's an M. And by the way, they're not to Wayfair Studios, Justin's company. They're to Sony, the distributor.
Right. Well, it sounds like we're playing Wheel of Fortune with the letters. I might buy a vowel to try to find out what month that is. I'm not really sure why the dates are redacted. That's interesting. I understand why people could be redacted. I believe in certain privacy rights, but I'm not really clear on why dates would be redacted. As far as Sony is concerned, I believe there's a Variety article that's published that's out there that says Sony received no complaints.
Yes, Sony has said they received no complaints.
So a lot of people are thinking this is just planted by Blake Lively's team. She goes on to speculate, like, let's assume these are real. Who leaked them? That is very important. Who leaked them? Because HR complaints are confidential. If these actresses settled or signed NDA, somebody just broke an agreement. So yeah, this is very suspicious. A lot of people on TikTok are speculating that this was leaked and created by Blake Lively's team and left out of her initial complaint. If these were real, this is huge evidence against Justin Baldoni, but it just comes out now when she's losing in the eyes of the public. It's very suspicious. But to make matters worse, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, they attended the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. Now, this was the first time that they have been seen together on a red carpet since all of this kicked off. Now, Ryan Reynolds had been seen out in public. He went to Hugh Jackman's show. He kind of made an appearance there to support Hugh Jackman, but he was alone. They were seen together hanging out with Michelle Morone. Now, this guy, Michelle Morone, is Blake Lively's co-star in Another Simple Favor, and he actually came out in support of Blake Lively when she initially came out with that New York Times article and that initial claim. He came out and supported her. Oh, and by the way, he's also co-starring in the movie The Housemaid, directed by Paul Feig, who also came out in support of Blake Lively, and co-starring Brandon Sklenar. Interesting, huh? Makes you think a little bit. But this was the first time that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively had been seen together. Now, in looking at this photo of them together on the red carpet, Ryan Reynolds looks wrecked. The man looks like he has aged like 10 years overnight. He looks absolutely stressed. What's interesting is that they both chose to attend the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. Ryan Reynolds decided to be a part of the show and sort of poke fun at everything that is going on between Justin Baldoni and his wife, Blake Lively. Let's listen to this skit.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it
And I'm going to move myself really quickly just so we can see Blake Lively's reaction.
going?
Great. Why? What have you heard? Yeah, okay. My question is that
This is very out of touch. I don't know why you would want to make a joke at the expense of your wife. It's very, very weird. If your wife was sexually harassed and is currently entangled in a lawsuit with said harasser, why would you make a joke about that? Why wouldn't you take that a little bit more seriously? And I kind of want to rewatch it, but keep an eye on Kevin Costner.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
He looks over at Blake Lively.
great. Why? What have you heard?
The whole time, he's just looking at Blake Lively. And look at Blake Lively's reaction. Looks up at her husband.
You know, I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation. It surprised me.
Now, a lot of these shows are scripted, so it's very hard for me to determine whether or not her reaction is a genuinely shocked reaction. Like, why would you make fun of that? Or why would you say that? Why would you make fun right now at me in this situation? Or if her reaction was also scripted, if she's like in on the joke. Either way, just like Ryan Reynolds created that nice pull character in order to make fun of Justin Baldoni.
What would ever happen to me? Lots of stuff.
It's sort of the same energy. You create that character of your wife's supposed harasser. So every time she sees that character, that would just be a huge reminder of it. But it's okay because you're Ryan Reynolds, you're a haha funny guy and you're making a joke. Just like here. It's just so weird to me that he's making a joke out of this alleged serious situation. So after all of that happened, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Freeman, was scheduled to appear on Hot Mic with Billy Bush. And he was asked about Ryan Reynolds' joke on SNL. And he said he's never seen a situation where a husband would publicly make jokes about their wife's sexual harassment.
What did you think when you saw, Ryan, make light of the situation? I guess try to find some humor in all this.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation. I can't think of anyone who's done anything like that. And so it surprised me.
And that is very true. It is very awkward. It is very surprising that Ryan Reynolds would choose to poke fun at the situation that they're currently in. To be honest, I think in their mind, one, he wanted to take control of the situation because he and Blake Lively are both very controlling people. But two, in his mind, I think that making light of the situation is kind of a way to sort of like brush it off while they're surrounded by their fellow colleagues in Hollywood. Almost as if to say, it's not a big deal, guys, we promise. We're not the monsters that everybody thinks we are. It's not a huge deal. It's being blown way out of proportion, which would be fine if they were being sued for like someone stubbing their toe on a set, but your wife was sexually harassed by somebody and you're kind of making light light of the situation, saying like it's not a big deal. It really makes zero sense why you would choose to make a joke about this situation. Except that you're probably embarrassed that you are being outed. You and your wife are being outed in the eyes of the public of the controlling assholes that you really are. They really did try to take control of the situation, but they ended up looking once again like out of touch Hollywood elites who really give zero fucks about the fact that they tried to end a man's career. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Leave a like and let me know what you guys think in those comments down below, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, everyone.